Hello, I'm Samuel Clark, and today we're going to be working on a 2000 Valkyrie Tourer model. What we have lined up for this afternoon is pretty fun. We're going to be removing the stock exhaust pipes, and that's in anticipation of a new exhaust custom built by Mark T. Appreciate you, Mark. Looking forward to seeing those glass packs real soon. At any rate, the first side we're going to work on is the left side, and we're going to work on that side because it's slightly more complicated. Let's get to it. As you can see, I have my 2000 model Valkyrie basically stripped down of saddlebags, side covers, front and rear fenders, and the gas tank. Those pieces are getting painted, and if you want to see how that was done, you can check out my other video that shows that explicitly. You don't need to do those things in order to remove the exhaust. On the left side, the first area where we're going to focus on is on the rear of the exhaust right here. You can see there's the nut there and the nut there. Those keep the back of the exhaust attached to the bike. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to remove the left side foot peg bracket with the nuts here and here. Then we're going to remove the shifter pedal with the bolt right here. And finally, we're going to remove the headers with the 6 nuts, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I'm going to go into each of those in detail right now. Okay, I have the camera placed underneath the exhaust on the back side. This is the inside of the exhaust right here. You can see it right there. And then you have 2 bolts, this one here and this one here. This is a 12mm bolt, and this is a 12mm bolt, and I'm using my torque wrench to go ahead and remove these. Okay, the back bolts are removed, and now we're going to move to the foot peg bracket and the shift lever pedal. Again, the left foot peg bracket is right here. You've got 2 12mm nuts, and I'm going to use my larger driver to go ahead and get those started. Okay, and the foot peg is removed. On to the shift lever pedal. If you like the placement of your shift lever pedal, what you might want to do is take a pencil and draw a small line between these 2 grooves here. That way, when you pull it off and you put it back on, you know exactly where it goes. The back part of this takes a 10mm, and you just unscrew it as such. And the shift lever pedal is now removed. Next, this bolt and collar need to be removed. It's also 12mm. Okay, we're finally ready for the header nuts. The way that the headers come into the engine, you might want to consider using an extender and a 10mm. Okay, and we're pulling the last of the nuts off. One final note here on the underside of the carburetor. Make sure that you remove the gaskets. You can see in this picture the gaskets removed. And in this one you can see the orange outline there. A small flathead screwdriver is helpful for that. It might take just a little bit. Be careful not to hurt the metal as it's very soft. We are finished with the left side. Couple of notes: as I was removing the header nuts, one of them got stuck because of some rust and actually torqued the bolt in two. On another one, the nut actually was so tight to the nut that it actually unscrewed the entire nut out of the carburetor head. So I'm going to have to look online and find a couple of replacements. Not a big deal, but you want to be careful. Well, let's move to the right side. One thing to note is that if you have a specific setup that many do using the red Craftsman jack, you might actually have to change the position of the bike on it. For example, you might need to move it a little bit more left or a little bit more right so the headers don't sit on the jack frame. At any rate, the right side's slightly easier than the left. What we have to do for the right side is remove the two brackets, the two bolts on the bracket right here, and then move that bolt so that you can remove that collar. And finally, the header nuts. I'll go into each in a little bit more detail, so let's get started. As on the right side, these two bracket nuts are 12 millimeter. We next need to remove this bolt so we can remove this collar there. And finally, these header nuts. For whatever reason, I'm just not able to get my ratchet around these rear front and rear, the rear back and the rear front header nuts. So I'm going to use an open-ended tin, and you can see I've got it right here. All right, I'm going to get to work. Okay, I have all the nuts removed, the bolt collar, and I'm going to go ahead and remove the right-sided exhaust now. Okay, so we've got the right side and the left side exhaust removed. The right side was a little bit more straightforward, not quite as many places to undo bolts, didn't have to pull off a foot peg or anything like that. I will also say that the nuts on the right side, including the one that was missing, were much easier to come off, so I'm not going to have to replace any of the bolts on that side. Don't forget, if you are going to replace the gaskets, to remove the old gaskets. If you're going to use your existing headers, some people go ahead and leave those gaskets in place. It's up to you. You might want to do a little research and see what you want to do yourself. Other than that, I look forward to getting my new exhaust system. Again, thanks Mark T. And we'll do a little video when I install those. Excited about doing that. In the meantime, you guys ride safe, and we'll see you on the trails.